I forgave him one too many times. His name was Daniel, and we met at 28 in the most ordinary way. Through a dating app, over coffee that turned into dinner, then into weekends that blurred together. He was charming in a quiet way. Dark hair that fell into his eyes, a laugh that started slow and built, and a way of listening that made me feel like every word I said mattered. I'd just come out of a string of casual flings, tired of games. Daniel felt different. When he said, "I'm not seeing anyone else," 3 months in, I believed him. The first lie was small. He cancelled plans last minute, said he had to work late on a project deadline. I showed up at his apartment anyway with takeout, wanting to surprise him. His car wasn't in the lot, but the lights were on. I knocked, no answer. Later he texted, "Got pulled into drinks with the team. Sorry, babe." I saw the Instagram story the next day. Him at a rooftop bar with a group that included a woman I didn't recognize, her arm looped through his. When I asked, he sighed like I was exhausting him. "She's just a friend from college. You're overthinking." I wanted to believe the simplest explanation, so I forgave him. We made up in bed that night, and I told myself trust was a choice. The second time hurt more. 6 months later I found messages on his phone. Not explicit but flirty. "Late night, you up?" Texts from someone named Jess. He swore they were old, from before we were exclusive. "I should have deleted them," he said, eyes filling with tears I'd never seen before. "I don't want to lose you." He promised transparency, handed me his phone willingly after that. I scrolled through nothing suspicious for weeks. I forgave him because the alternative, starting over, admitting I'd misjudged, felt heavier than the doubt. Pattern became rhythm. He'd disappear for hours, phone on silent. Come home smelling faintly of someone else's perfume. Forget birthdays, anniversaries, promises to meet my parents. Each time I confronted quietly. Each time he had an answer. Stress at work, a misunderstanding, a friend in crisis. Each time the apology was perfect. Flowers, handwritten notes, nights where he held me like I was fragile. I forgave because love, I thought, meant giving second chances. Third chances. Fourth. My friend saw it before I did. "He's taking advantage of your kindness," Maya said over wine one night. I defended him fiercely. "You don't see the good parts. He's trying." Inside, though, the doubt grew roots. I started checking his location when he said he was at the gym. Noticed how he'd angle his laptop away when I walked into the room. Caught the way his stories shifted depending on who he was telling them to. Still, I stayed silent about the biggest suspicions. Speaking them felt like inviting the end. We moved in together after 2 years. I thought commitment would change things. Didn't. The lies just got smoother. A weekend work retreat that turned out to be a music festival. Photos surfaced on a coworker's feed. A guy's night that ended with him stumbling home at dawn, lipstick on his collar he claimed was from a drunk friend hugging him. Each discovery chipped away at me, but I patched the cracks with forgiveness. Everyone makes mistakes, I'd tell myself in the mirror. I'm not perfect either. The emotional toll was slow and corrosive. I stopped sleeping well, lost weight, smiled less. Work became the only place I felt competent. My mom asked why I seemed distant. I blamed stress. Maya stopped bringing him up. I told myself I was strong for staying, mature for choosing grace over anger. Really, I was terrified of being alone again, of admitting I'd wasted years on someone who didn't deserve them. The final time came quietly, almost mercifully. It was a Tuesday in October, 3 years and 4 months in. I came home early from work, stomach bug, and found a woman's earrings on the nightstand. Not mine. Delicate gold hoops I'd never seen. Daniel walked in an hour later, froze when he saw me holding them. No story this time. Just silence, then a defeated "I'm sorry." Her name was Lauren. It had been going on for 5 months. She thought he was single. I didn't scream. Didn't throw things. I just asked him to leave. He cried, begged, promised therapy, change, anything. I listened from the doorway, numb. When he asked if we could try again, I said no. Not because I hated him. Strangely, I didn't, but because I finally saw the pattern clearly. Every forgiveness had taught him I'd accept less. My mercy had become his permission. He packed a bag that night. I sat on the couch until dawn, replaying every moment I'd chosen silence over self-respect. The small lies I'd excused. The boundaries I'd never enforced. The parts of myself I'd shrunk to make room for his mistakes. The months after were raw. I moved out of our shared apartment, back into a smaller place alone. Therapy became weekly. I learned words I'd never allowed myself. Enabling, people-pleasing, fear of abandonment. I grieved not just the relationship, but the version of me who believed love required endless absolution. Friends rallied. Maya brought wine and listened without judgment. My sister flew in for a weekend and helped me paint the new bedroom walls a bold blue. My favorite color, one Daniel had always hated. I started running again, cooking for one, reading books I'd abandoned. Slowly, joy returned in small measures. A perfect cup of coffee, a sunset walk, laughter that didn't feel forced. Daniel texted a few times. Apologies, updates, pleas for friendship. I didn't respond. Not out of spite but clarity. Some doors once closed stay closed. Now, at 32, I'm dating cautiously. When someone cancels plans without rescheduling, I notice. When stories don't add up, I ask. I've learned that trust is earned in consistency, not repaired with tears. Forgiveness is powerful, but only when paired with accountability. His and mine. I don't regret loving Daniel. I regret how many times I forgave without requiring change. I regret teaching him my softness was infinite. Most of all, I regret the years I spent diminishing my own worth to preserve a relationship that never deserved it. The lessons settled gently, without bitterness. Forgiveness without boundaries isn't love, it's self-erasure. Real love doesn't require you to swallow betrayal again and again. It asks for honesty, effort, respect. I forgave him one too many times. But the last time I forgave myself for staying too long, for believing I had to. And that forgiveness finally set me free.